Lesson 1. How to play the erhu. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to grip the bow and how to bow and also how to press the notes, and you can produce beautiful sound with the erhu. Well, if you have learned the erhu before, do stay tuned because I'm going to show you some common mistakes and also some pro tips because we always revisit our foundation no matter what level we are at. So let's go on with the tutorial. This video is brought to you by 8 Tones Music. We have a physical store in Singapore, but we also sell our instruments and accessories to worldwide, including US, Europe, Canada, Australia, and more. And we also conduct physical and online lessons. Visit the links in the video description to find out more. So now you should have your erhu set up like this. We usually ship out all the accessories with the erhu. If it's not set up like this, right, do check out our setup erhu video. We have tons of tutorials like tuning and stuff like that. So do check out all the videos in our channel. Alright, so the first step is to bring up your bow like this, right? Bring it up and then move it to your right and set it onto the erhu, okay? And then the next step is to tuck the erhu onto the left leg of you. And then after that, bring it close to your tummy. Bring the erhu as close to the tummy as possible. Like make sure there's no gap between the erhu and your tummy. Alright, so now, how to hold the bow. Sometimes you might hold the bow like that at the start. No, we don't do it like that, right? We need to hold the bow from underneath, right? Your palm facing up. And then now, right, you need to hold on to the bow. So, don't hold on to the frog of the bow. Move it close to the handle. This is the handle, this is a frog. The frog is a hard one, and this is a rubbery handle, right? Yeah, make sure your palm is below the rubbery handle, right? And then the handle should be on the first joint of your index finger, and then gently place your thumb above the bow. And the next step is to rotate your hand down like this and push your thumb forward. As you push your thumb forward, the bow stick should slide down naturally like this. Now you're going to play the A string, the outer string, 外弦. Move your hand to your right. And now to your left. But if you're not producing a sound like this, it is likely because the bow hair is touching the neck of the erhu. Keep a small little distance from bow hair and the neck, okay? And then you should be able to bow safely. There you go. Now this is the sound of the A string. Okay. And then the next step, your 2 fingers here, your middle finger and your ring finger, go underneath, in between the bow stick and the handle, over here, like this. And then you have the first joint of your index finger to support the bow. You press the middle finger and your ring finger, press it in. Now I move my thumb away just to show you. Here I'm pressing in with my middle finger and my ring finger from this direction, and then the first joint of the index finger is pushing out from the other direction. Try not to press your index finger onto the bow stick. And then the next step is you bring your arm towards you, backwards, and then you bow towards your right. And then now towards your left. So this is the D string, the inner string, the thicker one, right? So just now you have the A string. Now you push your thumb forward onto the bow stick, down again. Yeah, this time with the other 2 fingers that's still inside the bow, right, in between the bow stick and the handle. So you gently place your thumb and press it forward and play the A string. Yeah, you can still play the A string with your 2 fingers inside the bow like that. Alright, so now the next step is your wrist, right? So now your wrist, when you're bowing towards your right, your wrist should come out like that. Rotate your wrist out and then bow towards your right. And rotate your wrist in towards your left and then bow towards your left. Now I'm playing the A string. So now you go to the inner string. So you press your middle finger and your ring finger and then bow towards your right. And now bow towards your left. Another angle to show it clearly, this is how my wrist is angled when I bow towards my right, and this is how my wrist is angled when I bow towards my left. This is the same when you bow your inner or outer string. So if you can't produce a nice sound with your inner string, do check the distance between the bow hair and your neck again. That's very important. Okay, now towards how to press your string. So now your arm, like this, right? If your palm facing down and your hand is up like this, right? Bring it to the neck of the erhu and then hold it with your thumb, clamp it lightly, not too tight. So you have your arm like this, your elbow flare out. Now bring your elbow down. Yeah, make sure there's a nice curve over here, and then relax, and then now you press on to your index finger. If you don't know where to press exactly, I have a mark your erhu fingerings video tutorial that I've done a while back, right? Do check out the link in the video description, right? So based on the first finger, you should be on the first dot of the marking, and then your second finger likewise, and your third finger on the third dot, right? And the fourth finger on the fourth dot, right? You'll realize that as you press your fourth finger, there's a gap between the palm and the neck, right? It's closing in a little bit, but you don't press your palm onto the neck of the erhu, right? You leave a gap here, right? As big as you can, but still be able to reach with your little finger, right? And press the notes. Now, with your fingering done, okay, I'm going to show you how to bow and press at the same time. So now I go with the open string. Then now with your index finger, you press onto the first dot. Then with your middle finger, second finger, now press on the second dot. And the third dot. Alright, so now the fourth dot. And then now go to the outer string. Right, just now it's the inner string, now it's the outer string. Push your thumb forward, press your first finger. And your second finger. And your third finger. And now you have the scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So you can see from this chart here, the sol actually appeared twice. One is your fourth finger, the one that I demoed just now with your fourth finger. And actually you can also use your open string A to play the sol, right? They are the same note, however, they have slightly different tone color. I only show you the fourth finger so that you get to use your fourth finger. So they are the same note, but based on your interpretation, it can be used differently because they have different tone color. So now we go on to the common mistakes that you might make. Common mistake number one, sometimes when students press, right? Sometimes when they press the inner string, they press onto the middle finger and the ring finger. Sometimes the index finger also close in. And what happens is it will produce a double sound like this. Yeah, but you're not creating double sound. You are trying to play a normal sound like this. So don't press your index finger. Keep it loose. Just press your middle finger and your ring finger only. Common mistake number two. Just now I mentioned that the bow hair shouldn't be touching the neck of the erhu. Right, you produce a sound like that. But the bow hair shouldn't be too far away from the neck either. You sound like this. It sounds very weak. So you keep the bow hair near the neck of the erhu but not touching. Try to bow straight, right? The distance between the bow hair and the neck at any point of time, like when you bow, right? Whether your bow is here or here, right? The distance should be about the same. So you bow straight. Common mistake number three. When you bow, you don't have your bow up high like that. Right? You produce a sound like this. Or bow too downwards like this. Yeah, try to bow like at a 90 degree. About 90 degree, right? Right, you can test this out yourself, experiment a little bit. And the inner string, the 内弦, is also the same thing. Yeah, don't bow too high up. And don't bow too down. Just bow straight. Alright, so now to the segment that everyone is waiting for, the pro tip. That doesn't mean I'm a super pro myself. No. I'm just giving you some tips on like the way I play and stuff like that. If you have a teacher, especially if you are learning one-on-one, follow your teacher. Right? You can try my pro tips, but you should still listen to what your teacher says. Don't say I say this, I say that. Right? Okay, so let's go on with the first pro tip. When you bow, right, sometimes you have the tendency to bring your wrist up like this. But for me, I like to bring my wrist down. That's for the A string, the outer string. You push your thumb forward. And now for the inner string, right, sometimes my hand, you see, will point upwards. My wrist will sink down and my hand will point upwards. And that produces a richer tone in my opinion. Right, so now let's proceed with the pro tip number 2. Pro tip number 2, when you play the outer string, A string, you make sure that the bow stick is not suspending in mid-air like this. Right, make sure that the bow stick is stuck onto the erhu like that. Right, and you play. And then for the inner string, make sure that the bow hair is touching onto the erhu sound box. Yeah, it's not floating up like that. Pro tip number 3, sometimes if I can't reach the 4th dot of the erhu when I press, right, sometimes I will move my arm forward like this. Right, move forward like this so that I can reach it better. Like give you more stretch. Right, that's it for the tutorial. If you want to advance on your learning or whatsoever, yeah, I will upload more videos in the future, but you can have online lessons with 8 tones, you can have physical one-to-one group lessons, right? And we also sell erhu as well. We are a one-stop place for all erhu needs. You can email in, you can check out our website, you can WhatsApp us, iMessage us, whatever, right? You can find us. It's all in the video description. So like this video and subscribe to our channel. Bye bye!